Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you about why procrastination drains your energy so intensely. I'm Missy Hughes. I'm a productivity coach and I help you follow through. So go to the link in the comments of this video and sign up for your free consultation where we can help you move through procrastination and on with the things that you want in your life. So, procrastination starts with something that you want, and somehow it gets pushed to the side or it pushed to a little bit later. And all of a sudden, it goes from something you want to something which is maybe a big deal or maybe not a huge deal, but then it becomes something that you dread and it feels like a huge deal. It goes from, oh, I want this and I'm going to work towards this to I am completely overwhelmed by this and there's no way it will happen. So let's break down what's happening when you're in that, oh, it's no big deal. I'm going to go for this. I actually want this. Um, so most of the time when we think about the procrastination part, it feels exhausting partly because we think, why am I making this such a big deal? This isn't a big deal. I should be able to just get going with it, right? So we compound that from it's not a big deal to it shouldn't be a big deal. And now I feel all of this pressure. Yet we keep choosing to put it off because it actually has become a really big deal in our minds and in our bodies and our systems. And so your energy just tanks. You hate it. It feels terrible. So you start with something you want. Maybe it's a goal, or maybe it's something you want to do. Maybe it's just a typical desire. Maybe it's a change you want in your life. Let's use something small, like I want to start meditating. Now, we can meditate for a minute, we can meditate for an hour. The sky's the limit. You can do it guided, you can do it unguided. There are all these different options, but a lot of people struggle with adding this to their lives. They think, I want this in my life, but yet somehow I'm going to do it later, right? So you start with, I want this. And the emotion you feel is desire. There's a connection to it. I see how it can benefit me in my life, my future self. If I had meditation in my life, it would equal good things. Now, meditation is just an example. You think about whatever you're wanting that you're procrastinating right now. So I want you to go in the comments and tell me, what is it that you're procrastinating? What's the change or the project or the goal that you're procrastinating right now? So you go from I want this and with desire, and then you think, oh, but I'm not sure how to get it. Now you still have the desire, but you have curiosity. Can I figure out how? But then there's also like a little bit of doubt that comes in this step. So you've got these emotions that can be energizing. Desire certainly has that magnetic pull. Curiosity has a little bit of creativity attached to it, but then doubt. Can I figure it out? I can figure this out. Can I figure it out? I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not ever going to be sure. Question mark, right? So then you go, I should get started. Enter the word should. Now you've been thinking about this thing. I should get started. So now you still have this magnetism towards it, but now you start to dread because when you think I should, there's this other side of it's, but I haven't, or but I don't want to, or but I can't, or I don't know how. All of those doubts compound, and then you start to dread that because now it doesn't feel so good. Now your energy, you still have that magnetism towards it, but now you're starting to feel kind of it's dragging you a little bit. And the other side of that is you haven't started yet. I should get started, but I haven't. I should, but I'll do that this afternoon. I should, but I'll do it tomorrow morning. Then you start thinking, what if I mess this up? Now, listen, meditation's pretty, I mean, the consequences of messing it up are I feel annoyed, right? Nobody's like harmed in any way because I mess up meditation. This is what's so beautiful about this example is we make the repercussions huge in our minds, but honestly, we'll procrastinate something like meditation where the repercussions are minimal. So, but you still think, what if I mess it up? Now you've got that dread because I should get started. You've got that doubt because you're not sure if you can. Now you've got this fear. What if I mess it up? What would that look like? Dot, dot, dot. Enter the worst case scenario, which also pulls that energy down. So now you go to the next thought, which is, I can't. I'm overwhelmed. So now you've got your doubt, you've got your fear, and then you think, this is ridiculous. Now you've also got judgment. So, what goes from this idea of this would be great for my life to all of the sudden, you've got all of these compounding emotions that just seep energy right out of you: judgment, fear, doubt. Now your magnetism has like turned into the magnets go the opposite way and it's like repelling you. Every time you think about meditation, you're like, I got to go do something else because I definitely don't want to do that. Right? So if we keep piling on the energy of these draining emotions, all of the sudden we're hating this thing that we thought would be good for us. Procrastination begets judgment. And now all of a sudden, not only do we hate that thing that we thought would be great for us, we're also kind of hating ourselves because you're like, how did this great thing turn into this big deal that I can't even sit down and breathe for a minute? I don't know if you've been there about something like that, but I certainly have. I can relate to the feeling of I should be able to do this. What's wrong with me? That's another compounding feeling of yuck, right? So, here are some ideas. If you have these compounding feelings that drain your energy, can we start to go back up the ladder and build your energy? So, I don't know how, but I can start small. Whew, I feel a little relief about that already. Like if I start small, that feels like less of a deal. Maybe I don't even know how to start small, but just the idea that I don't have to sit there for an hour and do it perfectly can feel like a little bit of relief, can feel a little bit of possibility. I only have to take one step. I don't have to do the whole thing. I don't have to do 100 days in a row. I don't have to do an hour at a time. I don't have to have all the conditions perfect. I don't have to like face the correct way according to feng shui. I don't have to have all the pieces in place. I can just do one step. I don't have to have like completed the goal. Now I start to feel a little bit of capability. Can I do just one thing, just one day, just 1 minute? Whatever it might be for you to take like a little bite size, just one bite, not a whole meal, just a bite. Once I take a step, I can figure out the next step. I don't have to figure out 18 steps in a row. I can just figure out the first step. Now I'm feeling relief. I'm feeling possibility. And maybe I feel clarity on what is that next step, that first step. I can ask for help if I need it. That feels like a little bit of safety. Like I'm not in this alone. There are millions of people who are actually meditators. There are millions of people who are beginners at meditating. There are millions of people who have overcome this obstacle that might have something amazing to say that could be helpful for me. I'm not alone. Safety. The first skill I'm going to be using is just practicing going. It doesn't even matter what step, it's just practicing taking a step. So I'm actually not practicing the skill of meditating the first step. The skill I'm practicing is just taking a step. That's also a skill. I have to learn to take a step to take the step towards meditation. So the first skill I'm practicing isn't even part of the goal. That feels to me like, wow, that relieves a little bit of pressure. I don't have to be perfect at meditating. I can actually start on something that's going to help me with every goal I ever have, ever. So now I start to say, oh, well, I mean, how will I do at that? I start to maybe feel that curiosity, maybe that magnetism again. So, what I want to offer you as you start to feel exhausted by something that you actually want and you procrastinate, can you start to back down from that exhaustion with other emotions? If you start to clarify, what am I feeling? I'm probably feeling fear. I'm feeling doubt. I'm feeling incapable. Can I change that down? Can I start to take this huge project and just slice one little bit off? And that's the only thing I'm responsible for. Now it goes from this big deal to this little deal. And maybe I still have a lot of emotions about that, and that's okay. But can I start to bring in some of those emotions that start to build my energy, like capability, like curiosity, like safety, in order to make this thing possible, make that slice possible? So when you find yourself in procrastination, the first thing is noticing, oh, here I am. I'm pushing this thing away, 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 away. Um, Recognize what seems like it should not be a big deal has become a big deal, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you because something is kind of spun out of control. And that's what procrastination can feel like. It's like spun into this thing that, like, where'd that even come from, right? So recognizing, okay, it's fun. Let that be the alarm bell that I need to focus on the sliver and not the big project. So if I can unravel that big deal by focusing on what is something that feels possible to me, maybe it's just taking one breath in and out if meditation is the goal, and call it a day and move on. Give yourself the check mark that that's done. To back down those emotions, you go from the big picture to the micro level and say, I can take one step today. Let that be also exhausting. If it is the one step, you're like, phew, that is done. I can also celebrate that I did it without the judgment that also I've still got this looming project. One step at a time relieves the pressure of the big deal of the project. And you can get back to that desire that this is something that I want in my life, and it will make the rest of my life better in some way. So if this feels like something you want to dig into more, I want you to go to the comments, go use the link to sign up for a consultation to figure out, what is the sliver? What's the sliver that I can take? What's the energy that I want to build in that? How can I relieve some of this pressure that I'm feeling? We can talk about your specific project or desire or goal or change and figure out what is it that can get you into that first step. I hope to see you next week in a consultation.